Participant Alex presents the claims that vaccines cause autism, referencing historical, contested items. Blair presents the mainstream scientific evidence showing no causal link. Note: the script explicitly flags the for items as retracted, low quality where applicable, so you're not amplifying misinformation. Alex: a lot of parents still worry that vaccines might cause autism. This really began with the 1998 Lancet case series by Andrew Wakefield, which described 12 children who developed gastrointestinal symptoms and later autism, temporally near the MMR shot. That paper suggested a connection others began calling autistic enterocolitis. Blair: important context. The Lancet article you're citing was fully retracted in 2010 for serious misconduct and fatal design flaws. 12 cases, no control group, cherry-picked histories. None of that can establish causation. The retraction is not a footnote. It's central to understanding why the scientific community rejects that claim. Reviews written after the media storm explain how a small case series spiraled into a myth. Alex: but families report temporal clustering. Kids seem to regress shortly after MMR. That clustering keeps this debate alive in the public mind. Blair: temporal proximity alone is not evidence. Autism traits typically emerge in the same months when kids receive routine vaccines, so coincidence is statistically expected. That's why we look to large population studies that can distinguish timing from causation. The Denmark cohort published in NEJM 2002 tracked hundreds of thousands of children and found no association between MMR and autism. A 2019 replication in Annals of Internal Medicine again found no link, even in subgroups supposedly at higher risk. Alex: some argue it isn't just MMR. What about thimerosal, the mercury-based preservative? Could that have driven autism trends? Blair: that hypothesis has been tested repeatedly. The Institute of Medicine, 2004, reviewed the evidence and rejected a causal relationship between thimerosal and autism. In the US, thimerosal was largely removed from routine pediatric vaccines by the early 2000s, yet autism diagnoses continued to rise, which by itself undercuts that causation story. NEJM also published work probing neuropsychological outcomes and found no autism link from thimerosal exposure. Alex: another biologic idea is the aluminum adjuvant hypothesis. Papers by Tomljanovic and Shaw proposed mechanisms by which aluminum exposure from vaccines might contribute to autism. Blair: those are hypothesis papers, not causal human evidence. They've been widely criticized on methods and inference. Meanwhile, the human epidemiology, the studies that actually link exposures to outcomes at population scale, consistently show no association between vaccinations and autism. That includes the 2014 meta-analysis in vaccine pooling millions of observations across cohort and case control designs, which concluded vaccines are not associated with autism. Alex: people also cite surveys comparing unvaccinated versus vaccinated children, like the 2017 study of homeschoolers that claimed higher neurodevelopmental diagnoses in vaccinated kids. Blair: that's a small, biased convenience sample in a low-tier venue, with major selection and recall biases. Nowhere near the standard needed to overturn national registry cohorts. Contrast that with the JAMA 2015 U.S. sibling study. Even in families with an autistic older child, where concern is highest, MMR wasn't associated with increased autism risk in the younger sibling. Alex: what about the idea that kids get too many shots too soon? That the total antigen load overwhelms their developing immune systems? Blair: tested as well. The Journal of Pediatrics, 2013, looked at the total number of vaccine antigens in early life and found no relationship with autism diagnosis. If too many Too soon, we're causal. You'd expect a positive relationship there. You don't see it. Alex. There's still a vocal group saying something is being missed. Maybe a rare susceptible subgroup, or a specific timing window. Blair. The Annals 2019 Denmark study you heard me cite tested exactly those ideas: risk windows after vaccination, sibling history, risk stratification, and still found no signal. And meta-analytic synthesis doesn't show a hidden subgroup effect surfacing across diverse datasets. Alex. Stepping back. Why does the myth persist if the epidemiology is so clear? Blair. Several reasons. First, salient anecdotes carry emotional weight. Second, the 1998 Lancet case series was framed in a prestige journal and received massive media attention. Its retraction never got equal airtime. Third, autism diagnoses rose over the same decades due to broader criteria and better screening, which some people misinterpret as proof of a new environmental cause. Good explainers walk through this history and the evidence, but myths are sticky. Alex. So where does that leave parents who are anxious? Blair. With reassurance grounded in data. The NEJM 2002 and Annals 2019 Denmark cohorts, the JAMA 2015 sibling design, the Vaccine 2014 meta-analysis, and the Pediatr 2013 antigen load study each attack the question from a different angle, and converge on no causal link. Meanwhile, delaying or skipping vaccines increases risk of serious diseases. The responsible course is to vaccinate on schedule and to pursue early developmental screening and services whenever concerns arise. Alex. Fair enough. So the scientifically defensible position is no link, and the citations are either retracted, methodologically weak, or speculative. Blair. Exactly. That's been the consensus for years, reinforced by national and international reviews, e.g. IOM 2004, and subsequent high-quality work. The ethical obligation is to communicate that clearly and support families with accurate information and services.